Patience, patience, patience really pays. Patience pays. I still remember there was a time my brother and I only have one brother, one sister. Yeah, Moses and Tamara. So there was a time Moses and I exchanged one pair of shoe. Yeah, we used to exchange because at that particular time he was in grade 5, I was in grade 7, if 7 or 9, I've forgotten. Yeah. So apparently we were kind of wearing the same shoe size. So we only happened to have one shoe. So while they were looking for my shoe, I decided not to be, absent from school. I said, no problem. I'll be putting on tropicals, and then on the way I'll be meeting my brother, and then we exchanged just like that. Actually, we had shared one belt and one shoe for about a year because things weren't very good with our parents at home. We never gave up. For us, breakfast was porridge. Porridge. Sometimes we would do it without sugar. Not that we wanted, but because we didn't have, our parents could not provide. I remember I only had 2 skates for wearing, like 2 skates, as in my clothes. Then shirts, I had quite a number of them, but not very, And during our era, when you have a party, everybody will be like, no, we are all going to put on, black jeans, white t-shirts and whatnot. I look at myself, I don't even have, not even a blue jean, because the only clothes I would have were 2 skirts. Going to church, be a party or something. I'll either choose. Actually, there was a gray one, my father bought them for me. There was a gray one and the pink one. So time came. My cousin gave me something. I had something. Yeah, 2 blue jeans, but they were big. Even when she was giving me, go and try them on. When I came back, she asked me to say, were they okay? Did they fit you? I said yes. In grade 7, somehow, yeah. Again, I was chosen as a prefect when our school had just changed new uniforms, and I was one of the last students to have the new uniforms. Then upon my parents managing to buy for me the new uniforms, again they chose me to be a prefect. I needed a new uniform. Agon. We struggled for them to find a new uniform for me. Then my question was like, now where are they going to get money to buy for me again the skirt and the shirt for me to be a prefect? I looked up, and then God gave me some, brand new idea. He said, Ruth, just go and cut your gym dress, remove the top part and remain with the skirt. And exactly I went to do that. Then my other aunt bought me a white shirt, and the other aunt also bought me a white shirt, so I had 2 of them. Then life continued. Every time I was growing, I prayed at night. Always I used to pray, but mostly I would pray at night when my brother would be sleeping. We shared one bed with my brother up to the age of maybe when my brother was 9, somewhere there. Yeah, because we only lived in a 2-roomed house. So we demarcated it with a cupboard, and then us behind with my brother. Actually, it was just a mattress down there. Yeah, but we never mind. Yeah, we couldn't mind because it was not intentional. Yeah, and we loved each other with my brother. We never used to quarrel. Even up to now, we still love each other. Like I said, I only have one brother, one sister. Yeah, so life continued. Every time when going to sleep, I would cry because my father was working, and there was quite a distance from our place to where my father was working from. He was an office orderly by then. Yeah, so he worked at a named school in the government. Yeah, so there's some distances where when rains find you in between, you can't go and ask for shelter from anyone's house because it was in between some, a long road like that. So I would know the moment he leaves, 10 or 15 minutes passed, then the rain started. Then I would know to say, today my father is going to be soaked and he can't get back. Instead, he will work with wet clothes, and that would injure my heart. So every time when I'm sleeping, I would cry a lot. Not that I was complaining, but I was crying and asking God to grant me and my brother the opportunity to finish schools and maybe find something to do and help our parents. When it comes to my mother, she's a very strong woman, trust me. There was a time while in Lusaka, Zambia, Lusaka, we used to cook on, it's really, really touching. Firewood is what we used, because we didn't have charcoal and we didn't have electricity. Our house did not have electricity by that time. So my father went, provided some things that he could, food for us, and then we happened not to have charcoal. My mother had to gather some firewoods and made a meal for us. That woman, may God bless her. And every time things went so hard for us, Mom would always, make sure that we kneel down as a family and pray. And every time we had issues, Mom never allowed us to walk out of the house. She said, just stay, my children. God will provide and everything shall be okay. Our mother introduced us to pray at a very tender age, and life became easy for us. Because at every stage, we would understand to say, we'll make it, we'll pull through. God is there. Regardless of the situation, my father never gave up. Every single birthday, he managed. Even a lollipop, a sweet, he would bring home and say, happy birthday, my son. Happy birthday, my child. To our parents, may God bless you. I was not so intelligent in school, I should be frank. But I could cry always to God and say, Lord, please, I'm really asking you to help me to be understanding every time you're talking. Please help me, dear God. And he heard me through, struggles. I managed, I finished my education, and here I am. From a school where I was going to my place, there was quite a distance. For me to cross over the bridge, we had some kind of a bridge. When it rains, we couldn't manage because the water would just get you and take you to places you don't even know. So we'd wait for people's cars like canters, you get on the back and then they help you just like that to cross, Sometimes we'd wait with my friends when it rains. Instead of us crossing like a 2 minutes cross, we would wait on the other side for about 2 hours or 1 hour for the waters to pass, and then we also cross smoothly. Life was never an easy thing for us. But through the powers of the Most High, God above in heaven, we made it. We made it. I'm not saying we are rich, but at least we are not living a life like the way we used to live. God's grace, we finished our education. Patience pays. I never lost hope, regardless of the things I went through. I never lost hope, not even one time. I never did. I believed at every situation that we reached, every step of life. I knew to say we'll pull through. Because I started reading the Bible as young as 11. Yeah. I could read. I told myself to say, I think every day I have to be reading the Bible. I would pick a verse, just a short line, then meditate on it. Then I came across a certain verse that was saying, regardless of what you're going through, God is aware. The other time again, it told me to say, in as much as life may seem to be hard, everything shall change, everything shall come to pass. Then day by day, I kept on being strengthened. Then I said, oh, beautiful, beautiful. Lord, I thank you. I never asked for clothes from my friends. I would rely on my 2 skates. Those that know me, and I'm speaking the truth. I never asked for clothes from my friends. I was very content with what my parents could provide for me. And I could exclude myself from other things. They chased me out of school because of school fees. I would go by my grandmother's place, stay there until when it's time to knock off, go home, and not telling my parents everything. I mean, anything. And at some point, I remember going to see the deputy head and ask him to say, please, if you can pardon me to just be learning. When my parents have money, they'll come and pay. It's not intentional. Then looking at how old I was, the deputy head felt very touched. And he said, okay. He gave me some note and said, you can be attending classes when your parents have money, they will come through. As if that was not enough, another teacher pounced into me because I was wearing plastic shoes and those were not allowed. I said, Lord, what kind of life am I living? I was in grade 9 by then. Again, I went back to the deputy head's office. I said, sir, my shoe has been confiscated. He said, why? I said, it's a wrong shoe. He said, why are you putting on wrong shoes? I said, it's not intentional. My parents can't afford. This is the only thing they could do for me. Then the deputy head again gave me a note, permission in a note form, and said you can be wearing these wrong shoes as long as your parents find money for you to buy new shoes. That's how I continued to wear those shoes. Wrote my first grade 9. My performance wasn't very well. I was told to repeat. As an obedient child, I did as my parents advised me. The second attempt, I made it. Up to my grade 12. Life was never easy. But mom and dad would always tell us to be patient. And they would always encourage us and tell us to say, things will be okay. And we really believed and trusted in everything they taught us. Dad has always been a fighter. He's always been fighting for his children, even while sick in bed. He would really be looking forward to the next day on when he will go and look out for food for us. And my mother would remain home to pray for Dad. I remember there was a time when my father got sick. He was calling. I didn't even know how to operate a phone by that time. He was calling. We didn't know that he had gotten sick. And because we had prayers at home, my mother gave me the phone to go and attend to it. Instead of pressing on the green button, I pressed on the red button and even did hello because I didn't know anything about phones. So the second time he called, I said, okay, let me try the next option. I now picked up the call and said, can you tell your mother to follow me up to some kind of distant place? He said, I'm not well. He had problems, a problem with his legs. And then we followed him. We left my brother and other people praying at home. We followed him. We found him seated down because he couldn't make a step further. His legs were burning. It was so touching seeing my father in such pain, out of hustling for us to come and have a meal. Mom and Dad, I say thank you and may God bless you. There was a time again Dad became very ill that we couldn't even manage to take care of him from my place. They shifted and went to my uncle's place. That's where he got sick from. For some months, and then he came back home. And then after that period, during that period actually, my mother was expecting. Then my sister came. And then she came through an operation, a cesarean session. And we are advised not to use public transport because of the operation. You'd need, taxis and whatnot. We couldn't afford a meal. So how possible was it that we could afford a taxi, but God still provided? Like I'm saying, patience really pays. Patience pays. We were patient and we were very prayerful. We never lost hope. Regardless, we never lost hope. My sister came. She brought so much joy to us. Big thanks go to my grandfather. He was there for us and he bought, I think, 75% of my sister's clothes. He bought from my dad. And I remember sometimes when my grandfather knocks off, I was young, but I remember seeing him coming home with, sugar, very little of it. Here in Zambia, we pre-pack the sugar, to as low as 1 kwacha, the Zambian currency, or 50 ngwe, kind of the second smallest note we have in Zambia, coin. Yeah, so my grandfather brought that for us out of his love. I felt as if we were just alone in the family. But regardless, we were prayerful and we were very, very patient. When we have a meal, when we have nshima with beans and cabbage, my brother and I would rejoice and say, really, today my father has worked very hard. During that moment, he had not yet gotten, his job in the civil service. He was just hustling, trying things here and there. Dad and Mom, I say thank you for teaching me to be patient in life. Out of their prayers, out of their strength, my daily mentors, and regardless of how little, regardless of the little things that we would have, Dad still said share, and Mom would still advise us to share too, and be thankful to God. My mother is that kind of a person who would pray even when God has just given you a 2 kwacha Zambian currency. My mother would still go down on her knees and pray and say, God, we really thank you. I learned a lot from that woman, Beatrice Piri. May God bless you, Ma. May God bless you, really. Matthew Piri, my dad. I love you, and may God bless you. Moses Piri and Lifonsi the Tamara Piri, a family dog. I love you guys. Please, people out there, let's all learn to be patient. Everything I'm telling you did not happen in 1 day, did not happen in 1 year, did not happen in 2 years. It was for a long time, but we never lost it. When you don't have patience in life, you lose a lot of opportunities. When you don't have patience in life, you lose a lot of things. You cannot find employment when you don't have patience. You cannot find marriage. You cannot find your destined. As long as we are living, God has a purpose for us. And how are we going to come across such? Is by being patient. By being patient is how we are going to know to say, this really is what God prepared for me in future. Just like talent. Some talents are not on the silver plate. Some talents are not drawn. You need to walk extra miles for you to come across them. Keep walking in life. Be patient. In as much as things seem to be hard, there will always be a way out. In as much as the tunnel seems to be dark, there will always be light at the end of it. Learn to be patient. Learn to be patient in life. There is nothing that is so hard with God. Trust me, this is just part of our life story that I've just told you. We have a lot more of weird and touching stories that you would not stand without shedding a tear. Learn to be patient. God loves us all. And at the right time, He will do what He has to do. Look at how many things He takes care of. Look at how many things He has created. You're not alone. Even when you're praying for something to God, bear that in mind. You are not alone. You're not alone. We are a lot of us. And every day He cannot be, today I ask God, I want a job, He gives me. God, I want to go to school, He grants me the opportunity. God, I want children, He grants me. God, I want marriage, He grants me. When is He going to bless others? When is He going to bless others? And really, am I going to have that strong relationship with Him when every time I ask for something, He's already given me? He wants me to learn more about Him. That's why sometimes He delays. And His delayment does not mean denial. Every time you are praying, let there be an application of patience attached. At the appropriate time, God shall do the needful. Be patient, be prayerful, be wise, be vibrant, be intelligent. Have limits to everything you do. Remember, too much of everything is bad. May God bless us all, and I love you all. Thank you so much for your time. Please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't subscribed. My viewers, like I've always been saying, I'm not only here to teach, I'm also here to learn from you. Thank you so much. Let's keep interacting on my YouTube channel. Faweza Ruth Piri here. Have a nice day.